Hi guys, so this is going to be a tutorial for the cupcake bases and, well actually cupcakes. And this is what you're going to need. Clay of course. This can be air dried clay, polymer clay, cold porcelain. I'm sure it can be anything. This is a mix of stone powder clay and air dried clay because it's more sturdy that way, but the air dried clay brings out the lightness and the color. And then these are examples. And I'm going to be using it for coloring later, and then little cupcake cups. And depending on the size that you want, as you can see there are 3 different sizes. A good way to make your cups squeeze tight is to put them inside one another, and if you have a lot, it really scrunches it down, and then the bottom ones kind of open up like this. And then a palette would be fine either. Anything you can put your paint on, just scrap paper would be fine too. Makeup sponge and paper and a toothbrush and paint, of course. I'm sure you can use chalk pastels or colored clay if you want, but I do this to give it texture. So anyways, let's get started. So first of all, let's start with the littlest cupcake. And so you're gonna take about I don't know how much, a little handful, not too much. Enough to fit in the cup, and maybe it'll come out a little bit, and you're going to roll it into a ball. And if you're using polymer clay and stuff, I'm sure you're going to need to condition it. And this has a little, I didn't get it mixed too well, and I probably should condition it a little bit more, but I'm just going to stuff it in. I'm going to kind of make it a little long, because this is a really small, kind of a narrow. I'm going to put it in, and just going to press it down. And fit it in. You want it to be round on top, so make sure you don't flatten the top too much. And that's what it looks like. And then you're just going to take your toothbrush and tap all over to give it texture. And you can use the rough side of a sponge. You can use anything to give it texture. You can use aluminum foil and whatever you want. Sometimes with air dry clay, aluminum foil might be better because the clay sticks to the toothbrush. But with this stone powder clay mix, it is pretty firm, so it doesn't stick. And that's it. So that's the very tiniest one. And this one, I can demonstrate. I guess I will, but it's just use a bigger piece of clay. Here, I'll do it. Maybe about that much. Condition it a bit, and you're gonna make the top bigger so it overflows a bit more, but not too big. And you're just gonna press it in and shape it around, and you can glue it in at this point if you want, but I always glue it after it dries because I like to make memo stands with them. So, I pull it out, I put the wire in, and then I glue it in. That's what I usually do. It's got a little flat, so I'm going to round it up a bit. And, just shape it till you get whatever shape you want. And if little clay overflows, make sure to wipe it off because it will dry on there. And it will be hard to get off. Okay, and just texture this all over, and this is softer now because I was touching it so much, but that's okay. And if you get it too textured, you just need to run your fingers over it again to smooth it out a bit and pat it out. And this one's a more flatter one, but you can round it, and you can redo this as many times as you want. But if you do touch air dry clay too much, it will dry. And if there's little creases here, just kind of rub your fingers over it. And most cupcakes, well, what I use them for anyways, I put whipped cream on the top anyways, so that's why I don't worry too much about the color and creases, but that's that. And let's go on to the whitest one. So this one is a little different. You're going to take your large ball of clay, but you're going to split it into 2. And you're going to roll it into a tiny ball. And you're just going to push it in to make the base. And you can do this for the other cupcakes too, really. Just make the ball smaller. You can use scrap clay here. And then you're going to roll this. Kind of make it into a flat-ish oval shape or circle shape. We'll put the smooth side on top. And you're just going to place it on top of the clay. And see, this makes a wider cupcake. And you're just going to kind of blend it in. You can wet your clay with water or glue them together if you want, but when it dries I find that they stick together fine. This one I haven't glued into the base, but it's a little loose maybe, but I'm gonna still work on it. So you can keep it round or press it as flat as you want. This is totally up to you. Got a little fleck of dust there. And just texture it all over. And if you want to overflow a little more, just press on it. And voila! So there's the 3 sizes and how to make them. And next we'll be going on to how to color your cupcakes. Or muffins, whatever you want to call them. These are the ones that we just made, or I just made. And it should take maybe a day, maybe 2 to dry. It kind of depends on how much clay you used and what the weather is. And if you used oven clay, I would assume that the aluminum cups are bakeable, but I'm not sure, so be careful with the cups you use, but you usually bake them, so I wouldn't see a problem with it. But yeah, just make sure to read the instructions on your tins. And okay, let's get going with the coloring. So these are the ones that have dried, and I'm going to take my paint. This is yellow ochre. Ochre? And I'm just gonna dab some out. And you can use pastels if that's what you're used to using. You can use anything you want to color your cupcakes. Or you can just use a darker color to start with. I think you need a little more than that. Oops. You can use anything you want. Okay. Now you're going to take the paint and your makeup sponge. Make sure you get all dust off of it, because if there is dust on it, it will end up on your creation. So you can take this paper and you're just going to take the corner of your makeup sponge, dab it in the paint. Don't get too much on it, just a little. That's a lot. But anyways, you're going to press it onto the paper and dab it on the paper until it gets pretty light. Maybe a little more. Since I had a lot of paint on there, this is going to take a few. Okay, maybe something like that. Can you see? Just when you dab it, it doesn't come off too much. So you're going to dab on your cupcakes, or muffins, whatever you want to call them. But don't press too hardly because the paint will come off in blotches. Just kind of lightly dab at it. And you can kind of rub it lightly, and that gives it a nice kind of color. And you're just going to add on coat after coat. You're not going to try to get a thick coat on all at once, because that actually looks pretty bad. And if your cupcake will come out of the cup, I would take it out, because your paint will get on the cup. But mine's stuck, so I'm just going to leave it and just be careful about it. And just keep doing that till you get the shade that you want. Okay, so as you can see at the end, I directly dabbed some paint onto the cupcake and it turned into a smudge. So that is why you shouldn't do that, and you should dab it on the paper first. So this is how they turned out. And when this dries, it will dry a little bit lighter. But compare the two. And you can see the difference. I'll dab some more on the side here. But that is how I make my cupcakes. And it's very simple. You can use any clay, any paint, any little sponge you have at home. And I have not tried making other flavored cupcakes like strawberry or chocolate or, you know, green tea. Those would be fun to try. So I will definitely try those different colors out and let you know how it goes. Or if you try it out, let me know how it goes. And thanks for watching. I will have more videos up, and I'm trying to do the tutorials that you guys requested little by little. So don't think that I've forgotten, but yeah, keep watching, and thanks for watching. Keep watching, and thanks for watching. Anyways, comment, rate, and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.